whenever we bought this boat, we got it down in West Palm and we moved it up here to Green Cove Springs, and we had all kinds of trouble with dirty fuel. When we got here, we pumped the diesel into those 55-gallon drums, and now we got to clean it up in order to get it back inside the boat. And we're going to do so using the fuel polisher, which is actually currently sitting on top of that power pole back there. And we're going to power that device using this unit here. This device is from a company called OUPES. It is a 1800 watt unit. It can be charged with DC power, AC power, or solar panels. And it does have DC outputs on this side, AC outputs on this side, and again, there is a inverter on the inside. In this case, it is a pure sine wave inverter. I know for us, our MacBook computers are really picky about that. This is the first time turning it on. Let's see if it works. Look at that. Battery's currently sitting at 62%. So to turn on the DC side, you push this little button right there. DC side's on. To turn on the AC side, you push this little button right here. Just like that. AC side's on. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to sort of put this guy through its paces. I'm going to set up this fuel polisher. I'm going to set up the solar panels that came with it, and I'm just going to let this sucker run for hours and hours and hours to clean up the dirty fuel that is in these 55-gallon drums. And then when Tambi comes with me on the next trip, then we'll get this pumped back up into the boat. So yeah, I thought this would be a good little demonstration for this OUPES 1800 watt solar generator, which is going to be included in the product giveaway. This little fuel polisher was actually a gift from one of our subscribers, so thank you very much for that. It's taken us quite a while to get around to actually using it, but the time is now. Alright, I have everything set up here ready to run. I did have to replace this, what was a clear hose with this black hose. I just needed something longer to get all the way down to the bottom of the tank. So it flows in this direction through the black hose, through the filter, through the pump, and then back into the tank. So it's basically sucking from the bottom and then depositing the filtered fuel back on top. Alright, so let's see if we can get this little system running. Alright, little pump turned on. Alright, everything's running nicely. You can see there's already lots of water, lots of gunk in that little bowl. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that and just empty it out as this thing runs throughout the day and possibly throughout tomorrow as well. Now, one other thing I'm going to do here is I do actually have the solar panels that go with this little unit. So I'm going to get those set up. I don't know, I think it's just going to be kind of a fun little experiment to see if we can polish both of these enormous gallons of fuel being powered by this unit and that little pump, and being only recharged by the sun. Alright, so that's kind of an interesting setup. We've got the solar panels charging the OUPES solar generator here while the fuel polisher is working on the fuel here. So that's probably a pretty interesting setup. I wonder if anybody has ever polished their fuel with sunlight before. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of water and a lot of gunk. Alright, so this thing has been running for a few hours now. However, there is a problem. It's not a problem with this unit. This thing's actually working quite well. In fact, the charge is up to 84% now, but I did have to shut everything down because fuel is just not going through it anymore. So I'm not sure if we have a problem with the pump or the filter. I'm suspecting that we have a problem with the filter, but we will have to see. I have one more of these guys. I'm probably going to swap it out, and if that doesn't work, I actually did bring with me a very large recorder filter, and I might go ahead and hook that up anyways. I'm not sure if that would help this process go a little faster or not. It's still going to be probably a bottleneck based on the flow rate of that pump either way, but no, we'll see. So I'm going to switch this canister here and see if we can get back in action. Alright, let's see if that gets it going again. Now we're flowing again. Oh my goodness, and already look how much junk is in the bottom of there. Holy crap. I changed my mind. It's not working so good. Yeah, I just can't get any good flow, and I keep clogging this thing with nasty, gunky water and chunks of stuff. Whoop, whoop, see, it's trying to go again. It's just struggling big time. I think I'm just running into some limitations with the flow rate of this pump and just clogging things up, maybe clogging the line. I might have junk in the pump, I don't know. I've got a lot of fuel here to polish, and I think I'm gonna have to put together a more substantial polisher to get through this. Alright, so here's a little update concerning the fuel polishing operation here.
That's quite big. Impressive.
I believe I'm probably going to go out tomorrow and pick up a much larger fuel pump, because that's what the limiting factor is here. I mean, it is just moving this fuel super duper slow. That is how fast we're processing this fuel. I mean, it is painfully slow. Oh, look at that big chunk coming up there. Oh no, that's actually a big glob of water mixed with some other kind of grossness. And now we're actually flowing through this really large filter first, which has a much larger water catcher bowl on it. Oh man, look at that chunk going up through there. Ugh. I'm telling you, this is some gross stuff, people. Oh, there goes another big blob of water and some other gross stuff. It is working. It's just not working as fast as I want it to. Actually found a diesel fuel pump with a higher flow rate, and it's got 3/8 inlets and outlets, which is exactly what I need. And I'm gonna get that installed on here, and then we should be able to move a lot more of this diesel, with that unit. I don't want to go too fast, I want it to be, going slow enough through these filters to clean everything up good. That's the good stuff, folks. There's lots of water coming out. I just poked the stick way down there deep into this lowest corner, so it's sucking lots of water and junk out. Ooh, here comes some more chunks. Alright, so I've shown my ignorance a bit concerning fuel polishers in this video, but I'm learning, So I think a lot of my initial problems that I was having with it was actually that I had air in the lines. Now that I had the air pretty much out of the lines, now I'm getting about 3 times as much flow out of it. It's still not really, as much as I'd really like to see with as much diesel as I have to polish, but it's working a lot better now. I don't think there was anything wrong with this initial unit that we started with. I think I was just using it incorrectly, and I had air in the lines. Yeah, when there's even a little bit of air in the lines, like there is now, like there's just a little air getting in from somewhere. I think it's from this little screw-on cap, but it really throws off the flow of this pump when there's some air in the lines. Still can't quite eliminate all of it, but I'm working on it. But it's working pretty good now, but I still think I'm going to go out and get the higher flow pump, just because, you know, I've got so much diesel to polish, and I would like to have, you know, probably upgrade that pump anyways, because I'd like to. I'm gonna probably reconfigure this whole setup, probably take it home and make a little portable setup that we can bring on the boat. But I like this general idea. The guy who sent us this polisher is actually designed to fit down inside a 5-gallon bucket. That's why it's kind of got this rounded footprint on it. But yeah, I'm learning, and it's working a whole lot better now. And it'll probably work even mo better once I upgrade that pump. And it is a new day, and I have a new version of the fuel polisher. It's the same as yesterday with 2 changes. One is I have this reinforced hose now for the pickup line so it won't collapse like the last one was doing. And I have a much higher flow rate pump. This is a 38-gallon per hour pump. It's an Edelbrock, and I'm not really sure what this one is that it replaced, but it's probably 10 times faster. Let me see if I can show you how much fuel's coming out now. There you go. So we have a steady, solid stream now, where before it was just kind of coming out in spurts. The polisher's working good. And it's actually powered by sunshine, which is kind of a neat thing. Got the solar panels over there feeding into the little OUPES solar generator unit, and then that's what's over here running the pumps, or the pump and the fuel polisher. Kind of a neat setup. Okie dokie. I'm gonna go work on something else. A rope on a boat is still a rope, but a rope on a boat that has a job is a line. This particular line is a topping lift, and the topping lift is used to lift the boom, lift the back of the boom up from the mast. It goes up the mast and back down there, and I can lift the boom up with this thing. However, this mast does not have an attachment point for this topping lift. There's nothing back here to attach the thing to. In fact, this cap here, you know, goes on the end of the mast, and a lot of times there's some kind of a connection back here, but in this case there is not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this bail. I've already stretched it out a little bit, but I think this bail is going to fit on there, something like that. It'll have a little bit of the ability to pivot a bit in it. I need to spread it out just a little bit more for it to line up right, but I think it's going to work. So let's install this lifting point for the topping lift.